There's no doubt that we live in an age of constant communications. If you can't reach someone by cell phone right away, you immediately worry, like, what's wrong and why aren't they answering their phone? They should have that on them at all times, right? Now, if you're a hunter or traveler that likes to go to the ends of the earth, you may want to check out the Iridium 9575 satellite phone from ExplorerSatellite Communications. The Iridium 9575 is the only satellite phone with complete coverage of the entire Earth. As you can see, this satellite phone is a lot smaller than other satellite phones that you may have seen. It's not as small as what cell phones are now, but it's definitely not the size of the phone that Zach Morris was carrying around on Saved by the Bell. The phone functions just like a regular phone. When you dial, you have to do a couple extra numbers depending on where you're dialing to, but it's pretty easy to use. It's got this nice antenna that pulls up out of it, and the adjustable antenna, that's so when you're using the phone like this, the antenna is always pointing up to the sky. Now, Iridium says to always use this where you have a clear view of the sky. I tested this in the woods around here and still got pretty good signal, but the leaves are starting to fall off, so it's not a real dense jungle or forest. Another cool feature about the Iridium 9575 is that you can send and receive text messages, which is pretty cool. The phone itself is extremely rugged. It's shock resistant, jet water resistant, and dust proof. So wherever you're traveling or whatever you're doing, you don't have to worry about this phone not being able to handle whatever conditions you're going through. The phone itself can be bought or rented. Right now they've got a sale price on this phone for about $14.25, or you can rent it for about 85 bucks a week, which is pretty good if you're just traveling and you just need it for a little bit. You can rent the phone, which is cool. You will need to purchase minutes, and that they're available in a variety of packages. The minutes aren't cheap, but then again, you're not using this phone to keep up on the local gossip back home. One thing I would recommend is maybe getting an extra battery before you head on your trip. Now, if things really head south for you, the Iridium 9575 has this SOS button. And what you can do is subscribe to Global Rescue. I think it's about 120 bucks a week. And if you need to be rescued, you just hit this red button and help will be on its way, which is pretty cool. Another feature for the family that's home, they can track your whereabouts. This has online GPS tracking so people can see where you're at. And one thing about satellite phones is, I think a lot of people think, and I mentioned this, is that you're only going to need it if you're traveling, Africa or who knows, somewhere in the Great White North. But here on our farm in Missouri, we don't get cell phone signal anywhere on the farm. And if I'm the only one hunting, I have no way to reach anybody right away. Sure, I tell everyone, where I'm going to be hunting and what stand, and they know where those are at. But they're only going to come looking for me if I'm late to come home or to call in. And if something happens, I need to reach somebody right away. I don't have a way to do that unless I have this satellite phone here. Allows me to call for help if I need it, even here in the States. So definitely something to consider about either renting or making a purchase on when you're in your next trip. The phone is very well made. The calls are very clear, and definitely a product you should check out. And make sure to stay tuned at the end of this video. I have more product videos coming up next. And also subscribe to the Must Have Outdoors YouTube channel and our weekly Monday morning Must Have newsletter. The geese are loud. Now, in addition to training your dog to do retrieves with this unit, you can also train your new puppy to be conditioned to gunfire. Now, what I was able to do with this is take the dummy off, set it out away from me and the dog, fire it off, throw the dummy, and get used to my puppy being conditioned to gunfire, knowing that gunfire and retrieve, that's a positive.